Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something huge. It's this feeling that a lot of us have, this sense of disconnection. We're going to explore this idea that maybe it isn't just in our heads, but that it's actually a cosmic problem. We'll look at how we might have drifted from our universal origins and, more importantly, how we can find our way back. This quote right here really just nails it, doesn't it? That feeling of being a little bit adrift, like you don't quite belong. The idea here is that this isn't some kind of personal feeling. It's a deep cosmic disconnect, a gap that's been growing between us and who we really are for billions of years. So, you know that feeling of unrest? Well, it actually has a name: disconnectivity. Just think of it as that gap, that space that's opened up between us as individuals and the universal source that we all came from. It's really the root of that struggle we were just talking about. And when you lay it out like this, you can really see what's at stake. On one side, you've got harmony. That's a life that's in sync with our origin, and it shows up as happiness, well-being, positive energy. But on the other side, disconnection. And that needs to unrest and struggle. It's a really stark contrast between living in flow and living with friction. So the big question is, right, how do we fix this? How do we bridge that distance? Well, according to the material we're looking at, the answer isn't found by looking forward. It's found by looking back. Way, way back. To really get our heads around our connection to everything, we have to go back to the beginning of, well, everything. So let's take a little trip, a 13.7 billion year trip to be exact. Just think about that number for a second. 13.7 billion years. That's how old our universe is believed to be. And it all kicked off with this one single explosive event that scientists have famously named the Big Bang. Okay, try to wrap your mind around this, because it's wild. Everything you see, the stars, the planets, you, me, everything, it was all once squeezed into a single point. A singular atom, they call it, with infinite temperature and density. That is our shared starting line. Pretty incredible. And the crazy part is how fast this all happened. I mean, in less than a second after that first explosion, pure energy started turning into the very matter that would eventually become galaxies and stars and us. From that one single point, the blueprint for literally everything was set in motion. Okay, so if we all came from that same singular point, that same origin, how do we find our way back to that feeling of unity? Well, the framework we're exploring lays out a kind of a roadmap for us, and it's built on 4 pillars of connection. Think of it like stages, It follows the exact path that universal energy took to evolve. It all starts with the basic foundation, the material world. Then you get the first flicker of life, vegetation. That then blossoms into the huge, complex ecosystem of nature, which is seen as this great healing force. And then, at the very pinnacle of it all, we find the human. And this is a really key point. This idea that nature acts as the healer of the universe. The thinking here is that nature, in its pure, raw state, still holds the original frequency of our cosmic source. So by spending time in it, by immersing ourselves in it, we can kind of recalibrate our own energy. It helps us find our way back to that state of peace. And that brings us to the final and most complex pillar, us, humans. Now, in this framework, we're called the masterpiece of creation. And that's not about ego, not at all. It's because we have this unique, incredibly powerful set of tools that lets us consciously connect with the universe. And here they are, our amazing tools for connection. Just think about it. We have the brain and imagination, which this material sees as a direct line to the universe. We have this incredible drive for creation and creativity. We have consciousness itself, and we have this amazing capacity for self-healing. These are superpowers, really. So all of this builds up to a really huge concept, the universal mind. The idea is that everything, our bodies, the stars, the chair you're sitting in, it's all just one intelligent energy vibrating at different frequencies. It's like we're all just waves in the same ocean. We are not separate from the universe. We are the universe experiencing itself. And our consciousness is the key that lets us tap right into it. And here's where it gets really empowering. This universal mind, this giant field of energy, is completely neutral. It doesn't judge, it doesn't have favorites, it just is.
And like the quote says, it's our own thoughts and beliefs that shape that neutral energy into the reality we experience every day. In other words, we're not just passengers here, we're co-creators.
So, after all this, what's the goal? Where is this journey of reconnection supposed to lead? Well, the ultimate aim is to reach a state of deep fulfillment, a true return to our source.
And this is it. This is the destination, true fulfillment. And it's not about what you have or what you've achieved. It's a state of being, a life lived in perfect harmony. It's the joy, the happiness, the deep peace that comes from being perfectly aligned with the abundant energy of our universal source. And that leaves us with a really powerful thought to end on. If the universe really is this conscious energy field, and if our own thoughts help give it form, then the power to heal our disconnection, to bridge that gap, well, it's been inside of us all along. So the question isn't whether we're creating our reality. The only question is, what are we choosing to create?